a little too much to like. I knew it was going to be busy in there, and I was like, they would murder us if I'm like, oh, thanks for the table, and like start pulling stuff out and plugging things in, and then they're like, oh, fuck.
Where's your outlets?
Yeah. You guys have Wi-Fi in here? Just kidding. No, I'm not that useless. I can give my own Wi-Fi. It's fine.
What?
It might be a second. I don't think it'll be too much.
I just never expected to see rain. What you mean?
I'm sorry, you never expect to see rain in Louisiana?
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for it.
Like, I feel like it's kind of like one of those things where it just kind of rains. I'm surprised it hasn't rained 3 or 4 times since I've been here, honestly. Like, yeah. There we go.
I'm not a fan of rain in New Orleans.
Right. It tends to portend rough things. Yes. I had taught like workshops here in July for a couple of years, and boy howdy, July is a hot time. And so you're just like, when it rains, you love it. Because you're like, oh God, whew, it's like a quick shower on the road. You're like all hot and sweaty, and you're like, hey, it's gonna be fine. And weirdly, and I don't know whether you guys have air conditioning or not in your apartments in New York, but in Texas, I mean, we have to. It's impossible not to. It's like literally illegal to turn off somebody's air conditioning. But here, a lot of people don't. They're all like, oh, no, it's fine. I'm cool. I don't need because, I mean, I guess that's fine, but I'm always like, guys, are you not hot? So hot. But
I don't like sweating.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I feel like
I sweat a lot.
I feel like I sweat a lot here. I feel like my body is finally pleased that I allow it to do it. I don't know why in Texas. I just spend all my time in air conditioning. Go from my air-conditioned house to my air-conditioned car to my air-conditioned theater. I'm like, we're fine.
I've been to Texas proper, and they have water pitchers outside, and I was like, why you have water pitchers? And then the heat hit me, and I was like, I get it. I understand.
Why are you guys so dehydrated? Oh my God, that's super funny. Did you say you'd been to Texas proper?
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, because Texas being the very large state. Which part is Texas proper?
Texas.
Is there an actual town called Texas, Texas? And I ask because it's entirely possible.
The place it's either like, I think it was just called Texas, or it might have been Dallas. There was a house.
It might have been Dallas.
There was a House of Blues there.
A House of Blues. Yeah. Was there a Hard Rock Cafe as well?
Yes.
No, I went to college in Dallas, so that's one very specific vibe for me. And then I moved to Austin after, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it's sort of like, I don't know, still a kid when you're in college, so it's like Dallas for me has a sort of juvenile vibe every time I go there. I feel like somebody's worried about me or something. It's a little more intense. And also I lived, my college was right next to the Texas Stadium, and right after I stopped going to college, they moved Texas Stadium to Arlington, and it essentially like lost all of the revenue for the area, so it got really weird and desolate for a couple of years, because the Texas Stadium brought a lot of money to that particular area, and then when they moved it like 5 or 6 miles away, it was like, that's why I moved, because I was just like, this place is like Calcutta. It's like, there's nothing, all these empty stores. You'd go to like a strip mall, there'd be one Chinese restaurant, and the whole thing would be empty. You're like, what is happening? They like closed Albertsons and like grocery stores. You're like, why would it doesn't everyone need groceries? Why are you doing this?
You ain't playing sports. What's the point of even living?
I guess that's true. Though I feel like
Play
between
sports or die.
I was like, that being said, I feel like the three of us kind of the opposite of that argument, given the fact that we're theater comedy nerds.
I went to Dallas just for the South Cowboys game.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, good. There you go. You like sports. Look at you. You have more than one interest? Gosh. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I realized the other day
That's why.
I don't want to die. Well, we were just talking about how I've lost the ability to do math because who needs to do it when you're just an improviser? You're like, I just make jokes and people let me through whatever. They're like, she was a delight. She doesn't know how to add, but she's fine. I usually end up over tipping and realizing later because I really do the math wrong, and then I'm like, oh no, well, yeah, that's fine.
Here's $50. Take what you need and give me the rest.
Yeah.
I have $50.
I also do not have $50, and I'm also going to stop doing cash.
Yeah.
Seems horrible. I'm going to look to see if they're calling us for our table yet. No? Oh, and I just got your text message. Oh, man. So you guys are involved in improv and stuff like that at UCB. How's the other stand-up stuff? Like, how are you clearly going on tours, so you're like, hopping and bopping. But how many years you been doing it? What's your sort of trajectory with it?
I've been doing stand-up for
too long.
Like 12 years.
Wow.
And I've been doing improv for like 2 years.
Huh.
Trajectory. I don't even know what I'm doing today.
Huh.
I would like to be paid in some fashion someday for it.
Yep.
For it, and maybe write and have people be like, I like you, be in this Will Smith movie. But
Oh. Will Smith, eh?
yeah, I don't know. If Will Smith, if you're listening to this.
He's our number one listener.
Call me. But, yeah.
I'll link his phone number to the...
Thank you. I don't know. I just want to make funny things with good people.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I'm at right now.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, whenever I talk to people, some people have a very specific, like, okay, this is what I'm looking to do. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So, and then, some of us are like, well, I'm having fun right now. So I feel like I'm going to maintain what I'm doing and try not to worry too much about it. Yeah, I personally just had a baby, and so I'm trying to sort of make sure I'm only doing the projects that I really want to do and not waste too much time, because it's hard to find babysitters and stuff. Though that being said, the theater it's very nice to have a theater full of people that care about you, because everybody's like, let me babysit, and I'm like, okay. I was like, seriously, I'm going to hand you this baby, so don't say it if you don't want me to, because I got rehearsal, so can you take care of this baby right now? I literally actually had that happen right before we left. I was in a rehearsal and I had the baby with me because I was like, well, that's what's happening. And he was not really very excited about our scene. I don't know. He's a tough audience. And one of the guys popped in and was like, hey, can I take the baby to get him out of the way for you? And I was like, hey, get that baby out of here. Enjoy yourself. And I was like, thank God I trust that man. Because imagine if I was just like, oh, what's your name, Top? Sure. Take him. Sweet.
Hey, it could be an experience for the baby, too.
But one he'll never remember. So, I want to wait for him to be kidnapped until he's at least 5. So he has that as a memory, Yeah. I'm just trying to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grow and learn through theft.
Yeah, sure. We'll call it adversity.
Yes.
Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't.
Yep.
You got to figure that out as a 5-year-old baby who somebody, kidnaps from me while I'm teaching improv class.
That's right. Sports or die. Sports or die.
Oh, my God. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for chatting. You are a lovely fella. I'm excited. Send me all the links to all of your things so I can make sure that everyone goes, any listeners we have, including you, Will, you know what I'm talking about, to go see your shows and then put you in all the movies.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Men in Black 3. Just throwing that out there, Will. It's cool.
There is a
And
Man in Black 3.
a 4. Just kidding. Is there 4?
No.
Is there 4? Okay. 4. We'll call it Quattro. It'll be interesting. Okay. Thank you guys, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Yes But Why podcast.